Hello, YouTube. Hey, it's your boy Mike White. So, I just want to thank everybody that follows my channel and everybody that's watching this video. I have to tell you that I've been on this journey, since 1997, the first time I used Photoshop. And I just haven't found that many people that get me. But I have a friend, and it's all thanks to Crystal Ann. But my friend is Molly Tran. So I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it's real. So Molly is my friend on Facebook, and she's like a digital artist. She knows what she's doing, and I really appreciate her. And she's inspiring me. So I'm getting inspired. And she's I don't know where she got this image or what she did or what part she had in making this happen, but she called it to my attention. And I have got so much inspiration to do a tutorial. It's a whole nother level that I've never gone to before. And I'm going to go to it now. There's so much inside my head and skills that I have that I don't share. I try to share a ton, but I can't share everything. But I'm going to try to show you all how to invert this image, because this is a real challenge. This is hard. And I don't even have, Molly's original image, but I do have the power of AI. And so I'm just going to start out by literally taking a screenshot of this gorgeous design. No idea where it came from. And I'm going to go to ChatGPT. So everybody knows that I love Gemini. But I have recently gone to the dark side, and I'm using a little bit of ChatGPT. Sometimes, and usually, I race both of them against each other. I'm probably going to do that in this. This is going to be one of those long, rambling tutorials. And if you're not a fan, just stop the video now. It's going to get long, and I'm going to struggle. And you're going to watch me stress and try to figure out life. So I'm starting with a screenshot of a screenshot. I mean, it's a designer's worst nightmare. It's a literal screenshot that Molly's taken, and I've screenshot it again, and I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to try to come up with a prompt. So let me think about that. All right. I was going to pause and not show you my thought process, but I'm going to go for it. I need this design cleaned up and recreated. Don't use the original. Recreate this thing. I want this drawing to have crisp lines. White against... Oh, no, let's do black against white. Black against white. Vector art style. Ready to print. I'm going to also say isolated against white, just in case. I know how the AI thinks. All right, and let's just pull in Gemini real quick. Oh, I've lost my screenshot. I have to click it, save it. Yeah, nonsense. And upload it here, because I've got it on my clipboard now, my prompt. All right, so let's run them. Here we go. Let's get all ready. Let's make sure we're on Pro here. I don't know if ChatGPT has Pro. I'm going to do create image. I want to create image. We're all square and even. Boom, we'll give ChatGPT the advantage. Just a 1 second advantage. Come on. It's funny, as a graphic designer, artist, whatever we are. Oh man, I should have definitely done white against black. That's how, this would be better with white against black. It's going to do my inversion. I need white against black. Look, it's put this whole shawl on her. I didn't even see that in the original. Holy smokes. Actually, this might be easier than I thought it was. The work might be done. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Wild. So what I thought I was going to do is I was going to show you this tutorial about how to invert something like this and how to deal with the fact that it's the wrong color. And I mean, literally, I don't even know how to describe what I had in my mind. I was going to show you how to make the white parts dark and the dark parts light, which I still might be able to accomplish. Okay. So, it's just it's done what I needed it to do. It's actually what I thought I needed to do was take it off black. And it's done it. And the way it's done it, it's put the stroke around the outside. So it's actually done a really fantastic job. Both of them have. Gemini has won this, right? Because of this and. Both are good, but I mean, in this case, and I mean, I don't find that often. I don't know, Gemini's kind of put some twists in the hair. I think it's picked up more detail. So Nano Banana Pro, for its Chat GPT, which I can't remember what engine, I don't even know what engine it uses. I think Nano has won. We've got more detail in the shawl. This one's cleaner. But there's more detail here. Oh my gosh, she's got a broken finger. So the finger in this one, look, it's just broken. The finger in this one at least has some kind of connection. It's not good. It's not good in either one of these. But it looks like Gemini has totally screwed her finger. I think it's interesting that Gemini gave the girl nail polish on these 3 nails, and ChatGPT didn't. Oh wow, ChatGPT's done a much better job with the flower and the cup. So really, it's arguable about which one of these is better. I mean, you could say that both are flawed. The flower has been tortured in this one. This is a better vector art design, except for this little and part. I mean, this is a more complete design. So I'm going back and forth and trying to decide which one of these is a better design. Gemini's text is better. And I like some of its stylistic choices. But I'm prouder of ChatGPT by simplifying the shapes. Let's look at the earring. The earring's better on Gemini. But this is pretty simple and easy. The stars have more, the stars are bigger and change shape more often. This is a better image on the left. The text is better over here. Well, the answer is we just got to use them both. Let's look at what we get when we pull them down. So ChatGPT's downloaded faster, and Gemini's downloaded a little bit slower. This one is 1024 by 1024. This one is 2048 by 2048. Let's look at the quality levels zoomed in. Yeah, this one's just cleaner. This one's definitely messier and has more detail. And so that's, besides this finger break, which we can always fix. I mean, we could paint it in. We can get inspiration for how to paint it in here. This one's got like a little separated bone tip. This one's got much better fingertips. Yeah, I like the stars better. Stars are better. Let's look at this at 100%. And then let's look at Gemini at 100%. Much bigger image. It's still pretty clean. This is cleaner, for sure. I mean, even just zoomed in. It's fuzzy, of course, because it needs upscaling. But, this is just much cleaner shapes in here. I mean, there is more detail. But I asked for vector, so, losing detail is good. Now, look at this rib cage. I mean, look at how this is just so much more telegraphed than this messy rib cage. It's like Gemini couldn't figure out what was happening over here. But over here, you know, that's, you know, if I was grading your artwork as your instructor, I would say this is better, cleaner representation of the rib cage. Okay, let's upscale them both. All right, let's name them. So I asked myself, if I was okay. And the answer is no. I think it's interesting that Gemini's came down as a JPEG, which they were doing pings at one point, I think. And now, you know, ChatGPT's got the PNG, Gemini's got the JPEG. That's interesting. Okay, let's upscale this one. This is Gemini. We'll just go 3x. That's plenty. 6,200 pixels. And then we'll do the ChatGPT. That's going to cause a problem. I need to rename this Gemini. I named them both the same thing, so if I upscale them and they were both ended up PNGs, that'd be a problem. We'll take this one to 6, which will be close dimensions to the other one. And this one upscaled a lot faster. It's always faster to upscale from a smaller image bigger than it is from a bigger image a little bit bigger. It's weird. I'll clear out my Photoshop. I keep everything saved. I don't have to worry, did I save? I know that I did. And if I didn't, I want to pay the price and suffer for as a result of it. Maybe that makes me a masochist. Is that what that is? Or a sadist? I don't know. All right, let's pull in. That is the upscale one, and then I've got the one I named Gemini. So that's the ChatGPT, and here's the Gemini. All right, and I'm just gonna set it on the stage, and I'm gonna change the opacity of this one, and just try to position it so that they're pretty much over top of each other. So Photoshop keeps changing on me. Sometimes when I scale, it stays proportional, and then like next week I'll be messing with it, and I need to hold shift or something to like make it scale, but scale proportionally. So they are way off. They really don't lay over each other, which makes sense. I mean, based on the way they were created. I do think that the Gemini image has better text, so I'm just going to try to focus on the text position and make sure it's not going to interfere with anything. I'm just going to try to save the Gemini text, and I might actually squish it. So I will hold shift and squish it in. A scotch? No, I mean, that's not going to fit. Let's make it fit. That's pretty good. That's going to work. All right. Let's raise the opacity here, and let's cut off what matters. All right, so I'm going to use my paintbrush, and we'll switch to black and white, and we'll flip to white be on the top, and we're at 100% hardness, and I'm just gonna, I'll go ahead and rasterize this layer. There's no reason to preserve it, and we'll paint out little weird things like that, like why'd you draw that, and then we'll select all the text. I have special plans for this part, so let's just ignore that for now. I'm just going after all the letters. I've got 80% in contiguous, so I should be pretty good. I'm getting a good selection here. And I just think this text has more life to it than the other text. So the other text is good. This just has more. It looks crazed, which fits the design. You know, it's more ragged. This is more normal this is more ragged, and that's the aesthetic we're going for with this design. So we'll just grab all of these peoples and just holding shift. I got my magic wand. I'm going to town. Alright. Not at all. I left the and off. We're just going to grab that, Control-C, Control-Shift-V. We're going to do blending options on it. We're going to do a color overlay of black. Awesome. And then we're going to work on this and. See, I really do want to preserve this stroke and everything. So I'm just going to, just the cutout part. So I'm just going to go here and just draw in this stroke. We'll turn off the fill. And just turn a pink stroke on so we can see what we're doing. And zoom in here. So I'll adjust that last point that I made here. And I'm actually just going to think about how I want to complete it. I'll actually go right up here. Whoops. Something like this. And then we'll come in just a bit. And then we'll come back out. And we'll try to follow this example. I'm obviously not doing that perfectly. Oops. And then down here, I don't care. I just need to follow it along. I don't need to worry about the shape anymore. And I'm not super happy with that. As I zoom out, I just don't really like my curves. So I'm going to come in here and tweak them a little bit. Let's just fix that up. A little sharper. Doesn't feel rounded. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. So let's make that fill white. And then let's just pull it down below here. We'll use it later. What we'll do is we'll actually cut that. We'll select that. We'll turn this all off. We'll turn that off. Turn this off. We'll rasterize this. Huh. There's no stars down there. I just noticed on this version we got a star next to it. This version we don't. I like the star. Okay, this is the background. Okay, so we'll just do a layer from background. Alright. And I'll duplicate it because this is my real, the ChatGPT version is the one I'm going to actually work on. We'll convert it to a smart object. We'll hide it. We'll grab this layer and we'll drag around it to make sure we get this part. And we'll just paint it white. So let's just paint that white. And then we will turn this layer back on. That's the text, sorry. We'll turn this layer on. And we'll grab this text and the star. And we'll put it up above this layer. So this is my text layer that's got all my stuff on it. We'll do Control-Shift-V. And we will copy this layer style. We'll merge this down. No idea, I hit Control-V instead of Control-E. And we will paste that layer style back. And we got our black back. And then we'll go clean off we're done with this for now, as far as we know. We don't need that shape layer. It was just for that purpose. We'll turn this layer on. This is our actual drawing. We'll turn our text off, and we'll clean off this yep, got it. All right. And we'll clean this off. So we're getting rid of the text, the Chat GPT text, and keeping the Gemini text. You know, so many artists are intimidated by AI. I think I started rambling about that a second ago. I'm not. AI sucks. It has lots of problems. Does it save me time? Absolutely. And am I super happy that AI exists? Yeah. I mean, if I could put it back in the bag, I probably would. But I can't. And I'm not in charge of the universe, so I'm just rolling with it. Okay, well, if I need to put this on a white shirt, my work is done. So I'm going to call this text. And probably, I mean, if I needed to put this on a white shirt, I'm done. But since I need more, I'm going to save it. The purpose of this is to show you how to invert stuff and do it right. I asked if I'm okay, PSD. All right. So this is my artwork. This is all I have, right? These two layers. I'm going to call this group artwork. These are just kind of like I'll go ahead and convert this to a smart object too. I like to turn it on and then convert it to a smart object and turn it back off. So I don't trick myself later. This is my text. This is my character, is what it will be. And I'm going to pull off of this layer my stars. So I'm really taking my time and I'm trying to do a good job. So I'm not trying to show you quick and fast. I'm actually trying to teach you for real. Let's pull our stars off. I think that star's already on the text layer. Yep. And I want this all on the text layer, because the text layer, if we try to invert black to white, we're going to need the text to be separated, right? So, all right, so let's just copy all that, and we're gonna need these stars to be white on a black shirt, or we won't see them. I'm gonna put this above the text layer. I'm going to copy the layer style again. I am going to merge down. I'm going to paste the layer style. Probably could have kept the other one, but I'm not. And now I've got all my text and my stars on this layer. And I still have stars on this layer. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to control click. So I control click to select everything on that layer. And then I'm just going to expand it. I'm probably going to turn this layer on so I can see what my expansion looks like. So I'm going to do select, modify, expand. Let's do it by 5 pixels. Probably can go even more. Let's go another 5. Okay. And I'm just going to erase all of that from the other layer. So I'll grab my brush tool. I'm going to erase. I'm going to paint. Let's turn off our layer 1 so you can see what's happening. And I'm just going to paint over all of these stars. I'm grading myself here and making sure that I actually got it all. Alright, so there's my character. And I just saw this free radical up here in her hair. And I don't think we need that. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, I don't know sort of what's going on here. Maybe it makes more sense with the text. Yeah, it's fine. That little part's bothering me. So I'm just going to grab my brush. I still have my brush. I'm going to switch to black, and I'm just going to fix that. Just paint that in. It's not smooth, and it's driving me crazy. I've got my smoothing on and my flow at 100%. I don't know why Photoshop struggles with giving me a smooth line sometimes. Yeah, I'm just going to clean that up. Let's look at that with the text. Looks good. Okay, so I got my two pieces. So I'm going to trace these in Inkscape. I've got some really high detail here in this image still, even though, ChatGPT did a good job of simplifying it. We've got some detail. So I don't want to go too small. So I'm going to save my Photoshop document. And I can always go back now. I've got a save point. And I'm going to, turn off resample and change this to 300. Hit OK. And then I'm going to go back into my image size, and I'm going to look at my actual pixels with resample on, because you can't see pixels without that. And I think I'm going to trace at like 4,500. I mean, I'm just going higher. I mean, normally I would go to like 3,000 or 3,600, but I feel like this is a high detail image. And I've already done all this work to separate, so I might as well just export these as two pieces. So we'll export this. I'm going to call this character. And then I'll turn that off and export this. And I'm going to call this text, because it's mostly just text. And then we'll pop open Inkscape. Got this artwork I was working on. Open up Inkscape fresh. And no matter how nice of a computer I get, it seems like that always is a problem. So I'm just going to grab both of those images that I've got here that I exported, and I'm just going to drag them onto the stage and drop them and embed them. Alright, and because they're set to 300 DPI, they didn't come in too crazy big. And we'll just trace bitmap, we'll apply that one. And we'll grab the other image, help, and apply that one. And then we will just delete these images. And I didn't even look at what the result was, because I was pretty confident. I wasn't even, normally I kind of tell people to like watch and see. Especially when I'm training the staff, I'm like, look, watch and see what happened, as a result. But in this case, I was pretty confident, so I just went with it. And I'm actually going to take these paths and size them in a little bit, because I use Control-Shift-R to like to clip in, but I know that I need to go on the out. I need to do some things that are like on the outside of this. Because we're going to still have to try to invert this girl. But I mean, again, if I was doing a black design on a white t-shirt, so if I was doing knockout white, I'm done. And I can tell that, because I can just literally grab white and I can draw a square behind this thing, and objects lower to bottom, and I can see that it looks the way I want it on a white shirt. But if I take that rectangle and I make it black, it's not going to be great. So let's see what this path is. That's the text. Let's call it text. And this is the character. Alright. And we'll go ahead and make this rectangle black. We'll just grab our fill and stroke and drag it over to black. And we'll grab our text and we'll make it white, and we got no problem. It looks great, We're trying to do our two different versions here, so I really should save this before I make those changes. Let's just back off those last changes and do File, Save As. And I'm going to go find that file name so I stay consistent. I'm going to rename just so I can copy the text, paste it here, and I'm going to call this K, I think we call it K Dark. because it's knockout dark. Is that right? Knockout, no, it's K light. I always get that confused. So this is K light because this is knockout light. This is good for a white shirt. And then before I go too far here, I'm just going to go ahead and save it also as K dark, because that's the challenging part still for me. I struggle with this on every design, how to invert it, because I want it on a black shirt. So let's make our rectangle black now. Let's go back to that. And we'll make our text white. Okay, and then we'll make our character white. And this is the moment I was waiting for you guys. So see, when I make the character white, it doesn't look right. So it's not correct to just change this to white, because all the things that were supposed to be black are now white. You know, like where her forehead is black. You know, the skull and the rib cage. That's why I chose this image for this challenge, is because, you know, it's really bad on white. On black. The white on black is not good. So this is where the magic's going to happen in this tutorial. This is the important part. Let's turn off the text so we're just looking at the character. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the character. I'm scared, if you can't tell. Like, I'm worried about this step. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to turn this one off and lock it so I can't mess it up. This one, what I need something all the way around the outside to define the outside shapes. And then I need to like cut it out of that. So what I'm going to do is stroke it. Let's do a stroke. I guess we'll make it a white stroke so we can see it. And then our style, actually let's make it a pink stroke. It's always a good plan. And then our style, we want to get it big outside. Our order, we want fill, no. We want stroke, no. Yeah, stroke in the back, fill in the front, markers in the front. I don't even know what markers are. I mean, I never paid attention to that. And so we're just adjusting the side of our stroke. I'm going to go PX because I understand PX better. Let's do 20. It's too much. Let's do 10. I think it's the Goldilocks zone for this. It's 10. We are going to now do path stroke to path. And what that's done is it's made a group here. And one of these is the stroke and one's the fill. So that, I think, is the stroke. Nope. That's the fill. Sorry. That's the stroke. All right. So we'll keep our fill off. And we'll just turn on our stroke. And we'll come in here and try to edit it. So, wow. So does that stroke still have stroke on it? No, it just has fill. Yeah, and we just want this outer rim. So I'm just selecting one vertice on the outside and then hitting Control A. And I'm trying to see what that's done. I really can't tell. I'd hope that it would go all the way around the outside. Let's see. Control A. Yeah. Okay, so let's hit Control C. And then we'll exit edit mode. And then Control V. No. Control Alt V. That looks perfect at first glance. So This is our new path. So this, I should have named this. This is my stroke. I'm going to call this outline. And I'm going to ungroup these. So this is my fill. This is my, drawing. I'll just call it fill. It's my character. We'll put this inside the character thing, so it's all gravy. We'll turn on our fill, and we'll move it above, and we'll see what we got here. I think it's right. It's still confusing my eyes. How can we make that less confusing? Can I make this back to black? And then I take my outline and make it white. Can I preview my result? Okay, yeah, see how I've got this white stroke around the outside? It is what I want, but I kind of don't like this inside part. And that's why I still have my stroke layer. Let's move stroke up here. Let's actually just turn off these other ones. So there's my stroke. So I think that I need also this inner ring. Copy. I'll go to my outline and I'll paste. Control-Alt-V. And I think if I turn my outline back on, yeah. See where I'm going with this? So let's just turn this rectangle off. We don't need this anymore. And we've inverted her. We've got two layers. We've got our outline. I don't see any problems either. So this is actually going much better than I expected it to. So now we have to cut them. So we're going to take our fill and our outline. And fill is on top of outline. And we're just going to cut fill, which is the black, out of the white. Alright? I struggle with this. I mean, the people that use Silhouette and Cricut and stuff are much better at this than I am. So I just want bottom minus top. That's what that says. Difference of paths, bottom minus top. Let's see what that does. That might be it. That is it. Okay. So that is it. So now we've got, we literally can save this. I think that it's ready. We can turn this rectangle off. We can turn our text back on. And we can Control-Shift-R. Nope, I had something selected. Deselect everything or select everything. One of the two. Select it all or deselect it all. And then we can save this and we can export this. Let's just export it as a PNG. So I'm going to make it big because we like them big. And I'm going to call this K-Lights. PNG. And we may have done it. Boom. All right. Well, that actually went really well. I think it's just because I came in calm and knew I was just going to hang out with you guys and show off a little bit. And I see a problem. I actually criticized a team member recently for this, and I better fix it. So there's a problem here, and it's on the text layer. And we'll just turn. So outline is now my entire character. So let's just call that character. I'll call it final character. And I'm going to turn that black so I can see it well in this environment. And then I'm going to turn my text black as well so I can just see it. So I think that when you do this kind of outlining here, it could probably actually go away down here at this bottom. Like we could get rid of all that extra outline here. But at the very least, we need to get these letters away. So let's grab this text and let's Control K to break it apart. I thought that was break apart. Hold on. Is it locked? No. Path, break apart. Yeah, it's Shift Control K, no doubt. And then we'll group it together again in pieces that we want to be grouped, like Control K here. I don't know what this did, but it didn't do right. Path reverse. See, I should have just quit while I was ahead. I'm not sure what happened there. Ah, that didn't get selected. That's the problem. There we go. And I now I've reversed it, so it's not working. Control A, path, reverse. I'm sure you all do appreciate a little bit like me struggling with this stuff. I'm just going to shrink this in a tiny bit, just so it doesn't seem so close to the edges. And then all of this at the bottom. Give me all that. Don't want that upper star. I don't know why that's not selecting you guys. I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe I need to get in the group. Yeah, it's just not working. Let's select the group. No, that's our problem. Let's select. Let's get outside of the group, maybe. Yeah, I expect that to actually be. Maybe I need the select tool. I'm just expecting that to select everything. Control K. Yep, struggling. Well, I should have kept recording because I ended up figuring it out, but I still don't know exactly what happened. But I'm just going to move that text off the character a little bit. And then I'm going to join this all back together. And I'm going to turn off the actual character completely. And select all this and join it all back together. All I was doing was repositioning that text to not be so close to that line so that it was overlapping. And I'll do Control-Shift-R. And then I'll select everything. And we'll just change it all back to white. Boom. File save. File export. Make it big. Replace. Awesome. Alright, I just had to do that because I didn't want my buddy Keem to see this, or I can't remember if it was Keem or Fizzy, and hear me, watch me make the same mistake I criticized him for the other day, which was when he added this little stroke. You need to make adjustments because then the text was overlapping. Alright guys, listen, this is a long tutorial, but I think there's been a lot to learn. I appreciate y'all watching my stuff. I hope it's helpful. And I hope you have a great day. All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye.